Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Legend of the Stars Qualifier number 1 tournament. So that's a mouthful. So the end of year tournament is happening soon, but first we're gonna have 4 qualifying tournaments, and this is the first one. So, this is the second round of that tournament. All the games in the qualifiers are best of 3, except final is best of 5. So the format is much better than previous years. I gotta say, I like best of 3 games. Also, there is no spot for under 1900 player, which I'm also very glad about. Now it's just you gotta finish top 4 in the tournament to get your spot. So 4 players from each of the qualifiers will be admitted to the final tournament, the real thing. And so this first tournament, also if you qualify, you can't qualify for the last tournament, you can't enter any of the other qualifiers. So the 4 players who've qualified from the first tournament will not be present in the other qualifiers. And this first tournament, this first qualifier was very stacked. I think 12 of the players had over 2000 rating, 12 of the 16, which is probably one of the most stacked tournaments, and also with the best of 3 format, quite very difficult tournament to win. Very legit. If you do manage to do that, I won't tell you who won just in case you don't know and you don't want spoilers. So to this game, this is Keyser and ZLO in round 2. They both took care of their first round opponents, and now they're up against each other in only the second round. Just shows you how strong the tournament is, because it is seeded. So basically the top rated player plays the 16th player, second plays the 15th, and so on. So it's seeded well as well. Really just an excellent format. So good job FTX for doing that. Also, the prize pool is going to be a lot bigger this year, it seems like. And that's very exciting too. So we're going to be covering the game, a lot of the qualifiers, and of course the finals. I hope to be in the finals tournament. I think I will make it. But either way, we'll be covering the games quite closely. So this game, well, we're just about to have our first bit of action. ZLO has now 2 labs moving across the map, and there are 2 Mantis near Keyser's engineers. This one's leaving, so this engineer is going to be exposed. This one has a guard quite close behind him. Will the lab be able to do it? Oh, he's now lagging behind a bit, this Mantis. This is why players will give assist orders, so this sort of thing doesn't happen. But I think the lab may not have enough time to do all the damage it needs to do before the Mantis gets here. Keyser with a factory to block some shots. The Mantis is easily in time. And this lab has actually ran past the engineer. Oh, it has. It actually did some damage, so ZLO did the exact same thing as me. Got distracted by this engagement, but he will go back and finish off the engineer. And now he's scouting to try and find another target using a land scout and an air scout. His air scout is quickly killed. ZLO has 3.5 land factories in his base, and he is moving out. So he must have run out of mass, and Keyser in much the same situation, maybe slightly less. Land factories. Yeah, ZLO will have his 4th one up a bit sooner. Keyser with a lot of mass in the bank though. Look at how much mass he has. So doing really well in the mass, but he hasn't spent it yet. But very nice to have it in the bank, ready to spend, especially once the hydro is done. He'll have plenty of power to spend the rest of his resources, I think. Oh, T2 mechs as well. Ooh, T2 mechs on the way. Now this is a map where early T2 mechs is dangerous, can be dangerous, because, well, you can see the kind of map it is. It's a very spread out map. It's a remake of another map made by Bias, but the mechs are very spread out, and this means air is useful, quite useful, and T1 land is quite powerful for quite a while because it's difficult to get enough units everywhere if you're not making a lot of T1 land. There's a lot of opportunities for raiding, a lot of open space. The mountains don't block that much territory, just create some small terrain features that you have to move around. Of course, the main aspect is this mountain here, sort of protecting the base somewhat and creating this choke. This is a hill, by the way, so to be honest, I don't like this feature of the height map because it can get quite cancerous when you're fighting on that hill or fighting down the hill, but you should be aware of it. It can actually cost you terrain features like that. It's also not too visible really from above. But anyway, in this game, Keyser has a T2 max now. ZLO, of course, does not. He is low. Likes his T1 maxes too much to upgrade them, but he is upgrading this one. So one upgrading. This T2 factory is not being assisted at all as it's upgrading, so it's not going to come too quickly. However, in the previous patch, T2 land build time was reduced, so it's not as necessary to assist, but I would definitely be assisting if I had resources, and Keyser does. However, his build power is going on the move. Keyser could probably have been upgrading another mechs or something, or looks like he's sending his build power away to try and drop some expansions over here, but he doesn't have control of this area, so it's not likely that he'll be able to drop here. There's too many units from ZLO, and you can see what ZLO's going for. T1 land, a lot of it. 60 Mantis versus half of that. So Keyser, oh wow, he's making a lot of T2 land support factories. He's making 3 at once as soon as he gets to T2 land stage, and he's going for a lot of hoplites and a second T2 mechs. He's going to need that T2 mechs to pay for all those all this production out of the support factories, so hope he gets it finished soon. On the top side, he's outnumbered, has to drop units and build a PD. That's not what you want to do, not what you want to have to do. Now a real swag move would be picking up these 6 Mantis and dropping them somewhere like back here. That would be really sick, but there are air units in the way, some inties. ZLO with a lot of units should probably be moving forward here. So this is most of his army. See, he has 71, he has 40 just in this area, so it should be time to push on this side. Although he doesn't see many units elsewhere, so probably most of Keyser's are here as well. But really, Keyser just doesn't have much because of that T2 land, and maybe ZLO is missing his opportunity. The longer he waits here, the worse it's going to be, because Keyser has a support factory. He has T2 production. Yeah, oh, now you see a lot of T2 production. And that means he should have very few T1 units, of course. Also, 2 T2 mexes. Now, one problem from ZLO, there's no artillery here, so he can't really get past this PD, and he's making artillery in the middle to take out this one. and he will be able to take it out for free by the looks of it. Now he's moving forward, and he's already having to fight a hoplite. That's not good for ZLO. He doesn't want to fight those. Hoplite with some support from what few mantis he actually made. You can see already multiple kills for the hoplites, and nice micro from Keyser. Backs off. ZLO starts to run away, and Keyser's chasing, and he will catch him because these rocket bots are quick. Actually, let's see exactly how quick they are. 3.6. So basically the same speed as a mantis, very slightly slower, 0.1 units slower, whatever those units are. So Keyser has made the T2 switch, and it's actually worked for him. Now he certainly has had less map control for quite a while, but he's had an extra T2 max for the most of the game. It's time now to do a lot of damage with the hoplites. Thing about hoplites, you want to keep them shooting all the time because they survive, they shoot from beyond the range of the units they're attacking. They take a bit more time to pay off, just a little bit, but if you keep them shooting all the time, you always keep them just in range of your enemy units, the value you can get is really huge. Now ZLO can't really do anything with these mantis. It's really unlikely he's going to run over these hoplites because of the speed of them, and Keyser's paying very close attention. So if ZLO doesn't move to T2 land, he's really counting on mistakes from Keyser, I gotta say. ZLO's making the gun now. Certainly more range is going to help him against the hoplites, but then again the hoplites can just avoid engaging with that ACU. And that will, if he does that, if Keyser just avoids the ACU, then what for ZLO? Then what's he gonna do? Now one thing, there is no anti-air here with these rocket bots, so bombers could be an option. Just simple T1 bombers. Oh, we see a flak coming now. On the top side, Keyser's also microing a lot of hoplites. He has so many. Another thing about hoplites, they're quite cheap. 200 mass here, as opposed to 300 for a Wagner or a Rhino. And he's doing a really nice spam of the 4 factories building the beautiful Cybern unit. There's a lot of deceivers as well, quite a few. You don't really need 3 in one place, but he actually has, well, he doesn't have one up here, but he does have one with this group. He's lacking one in this group, but still nice use of them. I think a few hoplites may have been lost here. On the top side, the PD goes down, MX goes down, and the hoplites are saved. They're still alive, and you can see the map control is moving slowly back in Keyser's favor as he also finishes a third T2 MX. ZLO now with a lot of assistance on his air factory. He has 2 T2 MXs. He still is not moving to T2 land, but he has the gun. And he's moving forward now. Where will he go? Keyser is mainly sitting, just standing in the forest with his ACU, not using him, which is fair enough. Looks like we have a drop here. Maybe it's an engineer. Yep, it definitely is an engineer. Bombers now coming for the hoplites. And these hoplites may be getting a bit too close. Gonna have to be careful. Well, it looks like the bombers are just shooting the ground. And this engineer found that area a bit inhospitable. It's retreating now. Hoplite's taking some damage. The Mantis managed to get in range. And there's even one Mantis right on top of... Oh, you can see some friendly fire happening here. We've lost the Deceiver. We lost a couple of Hoplites there, I think. And also the Reclaim getting destroyed. But the Hoplites are alive and they still have done so much damage. Now the bombers finally stop shooting the ground and they're shooting the Hoplites, which will have to dodge these T1 bombs if they want to survive. Oh, there's some dodging, and the flak is gradually getting rid of these pesky Zeuses. Yep, there go all the bombers. Oh wait, no, there's still two. And there they go. One left. Still, almost all the Hoplites survived there. Over here, two more flaks and two more bombers. Oh, ouch. There goes two Hoplites for two bombers. That's not good enough for ZLO, honestly. I don't think that's good enough. His land force is so weak now. 50 Mantis. It's just nothing versus 34 Hoplites. That is really nice. Not often you see that many Hoplites around. I think we can see that there's a lack of land scouts. Well, they're all on the top side. There's a lack of them on the bottom side. You can see the vision so much shorter than the range of their weapons. So this is risky. But look at the stealth though. So nice. Stealthing everything here. But land scouts are needed. We now have T2 engineers coming out. I think Geezer really needs a T2 Pigeon now. That's what he's thinking about right now. Oh, we have a run-in. Oh no. The Hoplites. Oh, the Hoplites are killing each other. So much friendly fire. This army mainly killed itself, I gotta say. There wasn't that many Mantis, but they got right into the middle of the group and the Hoplites just start firing on each other. They do friendly fire, as we can see there. So, that was quite nasty. But Keys are just pushing now. He's using his units to his advantage. And doing some raiding. The whole bottom side is dead now. Another Hoplite here. Takes out the Mantis. He'll kill the mechs as well. And there's this big unit on the top side is just pushing. That's a lot of power here outside the base. Keezer does not know it's there though. If he finds it, it would be a very juicy target. Oh, Keezer loses his Hydro as he's just really only starting his T2 Pigeon. He really needed that. That hurts a lot actually. 4 T2 mexes for Keezer. And now he's left some gaps for himself with his units pushing around. Uh-oh. So many Mantis getting into the base now, and he's actually... Well, it's just a massacre of engineers. Certainly worth something. But the P-Gen continues being built. Keezer is just going to have to power through this. Maybe he should turn off his stealth. Especially, well, certainly the ones in his base should be turned off, I guess. The other ones will be blinking on and off. There goes the P-Gen. These Hoplites are getting really close to this base, and... Oh, well, we have... No, there's 3 flaks. 5 T2 gunships. ZLO has T2 air. His gun commander has done nothing, but I suppose it did force the Hoplites to move to the sides of the map, and he takes the middle. But this is dangerous. That's a lot of Hoplites. Now a T2 PD goes up. The shield is being built very slowly, but the P-Gen is just getting killed so fast. There it goes. It's gone. Oh, the shield pops up just afterwards, and at least saves the wreckage from being destroyed. I think he could maybe even go for the the HQ, but the hoplites are dying instantly to the Corsairs, but the Corsairs in turn get popped by all three of those flags. T2 gunships have really been idle. I don't know how long they've been there, but they have not done much, and you can see Keyser has a lot of air, so maybe it's not too surprising. And he also has done a good job mixing in his mixing in flak, more friendly fire. Ouch. ZLO, turns out he doesn't even need this T2 power because he's lost all of his mexes on the map. He has still these 4 in the middle, 1 on the outside, random engineers in nice positions. Look, how does he have this one here, these 3 up here? Oh, imagine if he had lost all of this as well as the T2 Pigeon. Would be brutal. Looks like he's trying to be sneaky with his Corsairs. That one just popped off the map. Uh-oh, yeah, ZLO's running away. Look at this army. 7 flak, 30 hoplites. Keyser with way too much power. Now making shields. He really does not want to get sniped. That's all he's worried about right now. But Keyser also has so little of the map. He's missing mexes everywhere. So both these players just raiding, and ZLO actually has 7,000 more total mass now, and that's almost entirely because of reclaim. But the problem is he's just never made useful units in the past 10 minutes. Well, the Corsairs and stuff, certainly useful units, but T2 land, where is it? It's nowhere. And he also just has no air control. Keyser with a very decent anti-spam, and Keyser wins air now. Here comes Corsairs coming after the ACU, but he's under 2 shields that are upgrading right now. There's only 4 Corsairs, 5, 6, 7, 8 Corsairs. Never mind, there's a lot of them. Now can he kill the shields? They are upgrading. The flacker here doing good damage, and the inties have arrived, and Keyser's only on 7,000 HP. He's not low enough to get sniped, and all the Corsairs are dead. There's 1 left. Couple of vets on those flak, and Keyser's just dodging for fun as well. That's a GG from ZLO. Well, that was quite a good game. I think maybe ZLO didn't use his T1 land. Maybe he didn't realize just how many more units he had than Keyser in those earlier stages of the game. The T2 land from Keyser was used very well. He microed well. There was a huge spam of hoplites. We didn't see 1 tank from the T2 set. Oh, never mind. Saw them right at the end apparently, for some reason. But I think those are the only ones he's ever made. And I don't think they fought anything really. Well, not much. A few kills. Mainly it was hoplites, and they did a great job for him. Not sure about what ZLO did. Maybe he could have used air faster. Maybe he could have gone T2 air faster, done more damage to the hoplites. If you can get your Corsairs firing at hoplites, they disappear in a flash, and gunships too. But Keyser just played well overall. Kept air control, had just enough production of air, and used his hoplites well. Nice micro. Well played, both these players, and thanks for watching. Tune in soon for more coverage of this qualifier of the clan war and maybe some ladder as well. See you next time, guys.